Hey guys, welcome to a training today on SalesRabbit. This is the door knocking app that we use to mark the homes that we're of the people that we're speaking to and be able to track and know the statuses of each of these homes. First of all, what you can see is on the bottom left-hand corner, there's a home, messages, sales hub, and tools. Pretty much for the most part, you're mainly just going to be using Sales Hub. This is where you'll be able to have the map. You can see in the top, kind of in the middle, you'll see maps, street, and leads. I pretty much always recommend keeping it on map, so that way you'll be able to see the area that you're knocking. So first of all, what we want to do is in the upper left-hand corner, you can see that little icon, the little filter icon. So click that, and then you can see in mine, because I have maybe a couple more tabs than you guys do. You might just see leads or areas or a couple of these, but what you want to do is first of all, click on, for example, I'll click on shared leads, and you want where it says quick date there on the left, kind of in the middle. And then on the right, you want to see where it says today. You always want to change that to all time, just so that you're able to see all of the leads that have been assigned to you. And same thing goes with areas and leads. Same thing. I'm just going to change it to all time. And that way, boom, now a bunch more leads actually appeared. So this area is in Arkansas, company we have out here, but this training has to do with not just this particular company, but all companies. It's going to be pretty much the same. So this will translate to whether you're selling with this Arkansas company or whoever. So just wanted to walk you guys through it. So first of all, what we want to do is let me show you the different door knocking statuses. So this is our Miller Bros sales account. So this is our company account. So we have different statuses. So we kind of have just the bare bones basics that you guys would need. So when you're marking an address, you can we will first of all we will assign you leads, and what they will be is they'll look like this. So this is how the lead's going to come. It just says lead. In this case, you can see with this company we have the name of the shape, CAHS C163. So that's just kind of how we know which shape or which territory we're knocking in. It's not going to be super pertinent to you, but um, so here's what we have. So if I just barely was assigned these leads and I talked, or I let's say I marked or I knocked on the home and they didn't answer. So the first thing that I'll do is I'll just go ahead and hit NA, not answer. So this is a customer that didn't answer the home. If I happen to sell them, obviously I'd click sold. Um, Callback. This is CB. This is one where you talk to them and they're like, "Hey, I'm super interested, but I need to talk to my wife first. And why don't you call me back here tomorrow and 10 o'clock and I'll be able to tell you yay or nay or whatever." So in here, this is usually where I recommend putting phone number. So, I'll just put a phone number in there. I'll just put, call tomorrow at 10 a.m. Interested, but needs to confirm with spouse. So that way, when I do call, I remember, oh yeah, this is what the situation was, and then I'll also put like, Spectrum paying 90 for internet or something. So this will just kind of help me remember what the situation was with that. So that's for callback. Go back. This is one where you talk to someone and they're like, "Hey, yeah, I think I really want to do it, but I'm not the decision maker. It's my wife who handles it, but we've talked about it and I think she probably wants to do it. So why don't you come back?" She comes back home after, 7 o'clock. "Why don't you come back tonight?" So that would be GB, or go back. NI, that's not interested. So you talk to somebody, they're not interested. You can put notes in here, same kind of thing on all of these. CX is customer, so this would be like maybe you knocked on a door and they're like, "Oh no, we actually just barely signed up with you guys." And it's like, "Oh, great." You won't be able to get credit for them or anything, but just go ahead and click CX customer. They're already an existing customer. Lead, again, that's the status. It's going to be when all the leads are assigned to you, the doors. And then moving, this is obviously someone moving soon, so you could put like moving in 2 months or something. Vacant, this is a vacant lot or a vacant home. So if you run into those, just mark those as that. That way we can track all these. So the important part with tracking this is, I mean, it helps us a lot of the companies that we work with, they want the data. They want us to be able to tell them, hey, here's how many doors we knocked. Here's what the status was of sales reps. Here's our close rate, things like that. So if you can just be pretty consistent with marking these, and it honestly just helps because sometimes we'll go back through and we'll send a team back through pretty consistently, every couple months or something. So it helps with those people that we're sending back through the reps. Maybe it's you, and so you go back through and it's like, oh, hey, this is actually super helpful. I can see the notes of this person talked to them and they said, hey, yeah, stop back in 2 months when my contract's up or something. So just be cognizant of that, and um, just be pretty good with marking your pins. It just helps all around. Um, and then other than that, you can go to see activity. If you click that, you'll be able to see, obviously right now, I just barely clicked on literally every single one of those. So you'll be able to see, oh, for example, on October 5th, there was Bryson who happened to knock the door. I was the initial owner, but, Bryson happened to knock it, and you can see the status or things like that. Or in this case, this is just an ownership change with Bryson. So I assigned him the leads. He hasn't even knocked it yet, or that kind of thing. But that would be if you want to kind of look at the history of that particular home. At this point, I'm just going to click on it and I'm going to change it back to a lead just so it's, back to the way it was. Um, a couple other things to note is if you click on that pen in the right hand corner just below see activity, so I'm going to click on that. That's like an edit pin. So you can kind of go ahead and put, the first, last name, things like that if you want to, you can put in more specifics. You can also, let's see, set an appointment. So if you want to set an appointment, you can click set appointment, and maybe they want you to come tomorrow first thing at, 9 a.m. or whatever. So you can just change that. Um, I'm just going to go ahead and hit delete on that one. And then other than that, that is, if you do happen to have some reps that are underneath you, you're a sales manager kind of thing, and you are in charge of assigning them leads, then the way that you do that is in the upper left-hand corner, you see that finger pointing up. That one right there, this is how you can do like a lasso or create a shape. So you can kind of just draw a shape. So let's say that let's say that I just wanted to zoom out a little bit so I can see all of these and assign them all at the same time. So I'll just click that again, and then I'll just go ahead and highlight a ton of them. I can see the status of each one of those, 18 that have never even been knocked, 17 no answers, that kind of thing. And then I would just go to ownership, and then I'd be able to just update it based on ownership. If I have a couple reps beneath me, for example, I'm a sales manager, I can assign those leads. Um, but in this case, I'm just going to hit X so I don't mess it up. But other than that, yeah, there's a search bar in the upper left-hand corner. You can search an address in there or things like that. And then probably the last thing of note is um, if there happens to be, like, for example, right here, let's say that this home, you can see right here, it happens to not have, a pin on it. And, in this case, it's probably like a garage or who knows what. But let's just say that this was an example of a home that just didn't even have an address on it. Um, in some cases, that means that it's maybe an existing customer, and maybe that's why there wasn't a pin that showed up on there. But um, but let's say that you were talking to, this neighbor right here, and let's say that they said, "Oh yeah, you're gonna want to sign up my buddy next door. He was talking about you guys," and it's like, "Oh, let me go talk to that person." If there's not a pin there, you can totally create one. So in the upper right hand corner, you can see that right there. You can see you click on that, and then let's say you talk to that person, you sell them. So I click on sold, click on the sold icon, and then I click on that little home. And then that way you can drop a new pin that wasn't there before. In this case, I'm just going to go ahead and delete that. So I'll click on the pin here. And then in the upper right hand corner, I'll just hit the trash and delete that lead. So that's the basic rundown. If you want to go to the street, or if you want to go to leads, you can go here as well. But I like to just concentrate on the map view. It's a lot easier. And then here you can kind of see how many doors you knocked that day, or lead dispositions, things like that. You can kind of track some of your stats. You can look at your appointments if you have appointments, things like that. But for the most part, you're going to just be focusing on Sales Hub. So that's a brief overview of it. If you guys end up having any other questions, feel free to reach out to your manager, but it's pretty straightforward. It'll also have your location as you're walking, so you'll be able to see exactly, where you're at as you're walking live, to be able to see in case you forget where you're at. So, um, yeah, that's about it. Thanks for hopping on.